was just like teaching a teacher, you know? So, because I knew a lot of the stuff, but I also wasn't so familiar with a lot of stuff. And then I got to meet like dope people, and I just wanted to do the work. And then like now I'm here today, and like 6 years later, I'm still here.
It starts with our youth, because our youth end up going into adulthood, right? But it also brings in our elders, you know, like those that are, you know, being rehabilitated, and those that just have lost touch, you know, for whatever reasons, you know, because it's like they are still our community.
One of the things Padres Unidos is doing is housing. We have a housing project. You know, not only are we in the prisons and the schools, the community, feeding our people. You know, this was something that went way back. You know, back in the 60s with the food programs. You know, those food programs, the breakfast programs for kids, the state took that idea and they have breakfast programs for kids in schools. The difference is the nutrition. See, there's a minority that is controlling a majority. And the way of controlling us is to divide us. And in every movement where there has been unity of people, and when you look at the 50s and the 60s, what was happening, people from all different nationalities were coming together presenting united fronts. They were saying, even though we are different, we can continue to be different, but we have to find how is it that we can work together on specific issues and challenges that are confronting our communities.
How do you have a gang of law enforcement overseeing they said? So you listen to how we're going to do it? All right. You know what they're talking about? I'm not sure, but you guys know how to do what we're doing?
We're not showing how to deal with emotions. We're not showing how to deal with...
So do we want to do like a row of 4 or a square? Like I kind of feel like ours kind of go together.
I think a square.
We could put that one in the middle.
This is BSC, more of like Let's Kids Be Kids. I think this one goes with this, more Love Prison Small. I think this could be the connection between this and that. Leave the healing and with community over here. This could be in the middle.
So I drew this quilt. This is more like a personal thing for me because I was just thinking about how my journey, you know, in the youth relates to my work now. And I remember when I was in juvenile hall, I was behind this fence, and I was looking out the fence, and I was like feeling hella isolated, feeling alone. And then I saw these birds like flying out. I'm like, I wish I was one of those birds. You know, so it just stuck with me, right? And I think like now when I go back to the juvenile hall, I remember like what it feels like to be alone, wishing I have somebody to talk to who will understand me, who relates to me, and just like give me some kind of like reason or explanation to why I'm here, right? So
here's a teepee. Do sweats on this land in Oakland. And I even gave it a name, Cultura Cura Retreat Center. One year, if we don't have the teepee up, we will have the land. Yes. Oh, and I'm Frankie.
Powers that be that we're fighting, they all have incredible institutions. They have places, they have buildings. We need land, we need camps, you know? We had the incredible experience years ago at the Sons and Brothers camp. But as many foundations do, they'll do something for 3 years, 5 years. Okay, we've pivoted, which is my just irritating word to me. So I'll leave you with that and materializing these ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Tangible.
That's right.
Love it. Ashe.
Let the youth lead the conversation, because I feel like we're all saying the right things, but at the end of the day, the foundation is allowing our youth to lead the conversation, because just like we're the experts of our life, whether or not we're formerly incarcerated, oppressed, they're the experts in like where we go next.
My thing is pretty simple. It's giving a voice to the voiceless, because a lot of people tend to not have their voices being heard. And on top of that, for me, even just starting Debug, like they gave me a voice when I didn't even know I had one. So, you know what I mean? So kind of that's what we're here to do.
Once we're comfortable in pilot programs, like you can't be comfortable. You have to keep going, because probation thinks that, oh, just because we're shooting you a couple millions, oh, they're gonna be cool. It's like, nah, like I'm chasing the bag. And the bag, instead of the bag chasing us, instead of we chasing the bag is chasing us. So we gotta flip the script. If we don't build a strong foundation, on these folks that are just voices are not being heard, then we're just building a fake ass foundation, and anything that's fake is just gonna deteriorate. So we always have to tap into those young people and not fall into the stigmas and labels that we're often like being labeled, but then also our older folks, that generation that's already set in those ways. And it's like, no, gee, I can teach you. Like, I can shift your perspective. Everything that you have been taught is not fake. It's just, you just need to allow yourself to learn. And something that George Galvez always taught me is if you're always considered perfect or right, it's just like a fruit. All you're gonna be left to do is rot. So you have to focus on growth, always.
It's hard to go after that, but just quickly, right? We have a empty square, right? For all the stolen people.
We're actually thinking about collectively holding on to it and being able to bring it to each convening that we have for the Central Valley, and one person keeping it and then being responsible for bringing it back, and we just share that collective responsibility.
It takes all of us to do something, right? But it also takes also sectors too. You know, each and every one of our local communities, right? There's different work being done. You know, policy, you know, it's hard work, you know what I mean? So, and that work right there is never gonna stop, you know, because you're going up against that system. But that cultural work is never gonna end, you know, because our people, you know what I mean? Our people are gonna grow out of it, you know? They're gonna understand that shit, you know? And we are that example, you know what I'm saying? We are that living example of like, bro, what you learn inside, what you learn in the calles, you know, all that shit is transferable. You know, I still, you know, still mob. We go mob up to the Capitol, right? We're gonna go mob up to Congress, you know, and we're just gonna go pull licks. You know what I mean? Pull licks on these on these folks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
project, our piece. This is our vision. This is our history and our future, and that's all we got.
The opportunities to go into the juvenile hall itself and really start mobilizing some of our young folks from the inside out.
We know that we continue to experience the war on us. That war on us requires a narrative against us in our communities, but we're gonna tell our stories and change that narrative.
Youngsters that potentially can be serving life, tried as adults, like those are the ones that we serve primarily, you know, because who else is gonna do it? Who else is gonna do it the way we do it, you know?
And it's hard because we're flooded in work, we're drowning. We're drowning in work. We're so fucking busy tending to this, that, and we're doing an amazing job. I love y'all for what the fuck we're doing, because we're doing it. We're fucking doing it.
They keep focusing on incarceration, but not on prevention. They don't have any money for that, or even after incarceration. We're no longer in that system, but someone else took our place. There's so many little Israels out there. There's so many little Irams, so many little Raimundos out there.
Favorite word?
And so keeping humility, love, and healing at the center, I think will help us become wiser, right? That even if you got a lot of degrees and you're making a lot of money, right? Like that even within that young person is still that expert. And that when young people speak, people should listen.
It's very important as well to have spaces that are no cop zones because young people do not trust cops.
It's so beautiful that I'm able to grow with my sisters. Like, that's a privilege. It's a privilege to grow in a movement with a young person because we are the ones passing all your messaging, all your knowledge down to the next generation, and we know what's going on the ground with our young people and being able to mobilize our young people, but we can't if we're still living in survival.
And the elephant in the room, capitalism, we don't often want to address it because, of course, all of our foundations and all of our nonprofits are funded by the largesse of capitalist organizations, and we don't want to insult them and we don't want to hurt our funding. So whether we mention the C word or not, we still have to think in terms of this large economic picture. And without that, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to accomplish these goals, because when these young men and women come out, they're way behind already. And in many respects, if they don't get some of these few jobs that some of the people here have, and these are not plentiful jobs, they're going to be behind for the rest of their lives. The one thing that the young people said that they wanted during that time was a place to grieve. Okay? We flipped it and put in proposal for healing centers. Those still have not been done. Health and healing needs to be integral to this program. You can't have healing without health. Okay? You can't be psychologically whole and your body's riddled.
You aren't going to have all the answers. And you are going to have challenges and troubles. And these transitions that you go through, you know, you may not want to go through a transition because within the transition you may feel out of balance. And you're always searching for balance because you feel good. And that's what you should do. Always find balance in whatever you're doing. But don't be afraid of the transition. Get through it. In the transition, you will learn something else about yourself. And listen to yourself.
Our strength is that we have people with direct experience in leadership. That's our strength.
You know, there's two kinds of power, man. There's money and there's people. We the fucking people, and that's our power. And they got the money, but it's hard when you're hurt. You even want to hurt people when you're hurt, but if and when our folks fuck up, don't lay down, eh? We gotta stand by our warriors. You know what I mean? We gotta learn from the experience that we've had, because it's gonna happen again, because we're gonna keep kicking their ass, and they're gonna keep coming back. So if and when a young person screws up, messes up, slips, we gotta help them get up so that they don't stay down.